afternoon. We're just sitting here drinking some coffee and hot cocoa. I'm Cindy.
I'm Brett.
And this is 10 Living. In our coffee and cocoa time this evening, we have gotten to discussing the garden. So, we thought we would do a video and bring y'all along. As part of our 2020 goals we decided we wanted to plan better.
I thought we'd make it a group discussion.
Yeah, because so far this discussion ain't going nowhere. It ain't going far.
And we've had a few odd questions about, like our fertilizer video.
Yeah.
What is your numbers, I think was what we called it. Like some people at church had said a few things about gardening.
How do you do things?
They're always asking, how we grow certain things.
Or how did you get that to grow?
We don't have a big garden spot. We have 3 garden spots. We've got a pretty good size spot out here. What is it? I think they said 2,500 square feet.
So you're asking me? I know it's a yard.
Then we got one about the third the size of that, and one a little smaller than it behind my daughter's house. But we can't tell them how to make their garden grow because we only know how to make ours grow. We can tell them how we do our gardening, and it's like we tell you how we do ours, but there's no guarantee what we do here will work somewhere else.
Because I jumped on board this year trying to help Brett. I got on, I guess it was last year now, 2019. I got on board trying to help him because I didn't realize how much I wanted to learn. And so I noticed something about our 3 gardens. He was talking about you can't tell how to garden, just telling how we garden. All 3 of our gardens were different. Not one of them, this one did not grow like that one or like this one. And one end of the garden didn't even grow like the other end.
And one of them's maybe 50 feet from the other one, but the ground is different. Of course, we worked the bigger garden more. We've put more time and more money into the big garden. We've amended the dirt in many different ways, and I guess that makes a difference in some of it. But there's some things the big garden grows the little gardens won't. There's things this other little garden right next to it grows better than the big garden ever did. I can't tell you exactly why, but it works. That goes back to gardening experience. You got to move these stuff around and figure out where it grows best.
Knowing your dirt.
Yep,
I heard that from somebody. One of the reading, we were talking about that the other day. We listening to one of the live feeds, and they was talking about that was their first #1 tip was knowing their dirt. I looked at Brett and went, "That's what you always tell me. You got to know what grows good where." I just thought it was cute.
That goes back to where we was talking about the testing your soil and keeping up with which way the sun comes up and sets and where it hits the garden the most, where are the hot spots and the not so hot spots.
Something else besides just where the sun goes.
It does change from spring to fall. The angle of the sun changes, which makes a difference in your garden. A lot of factors, but the experience is the best thing because the more you work at it, the more you'll figure out how to make your garden spot work. But we do some things some people think is backwards and wrong.
Well, like the water flow. If you can't put something that needs lots of water up at the top of your garden, it needs to be more down towards the bottom.
Something they don't realize in our garden. When you watched our videos, you probably don't realize that the big garden's actually on an incline. It's at least 3 foot of drop from the top to the bottom.
They could probably say that in your...
But it's at a slow angle because we cut it and plowed and pulled dirt and worked for years. I had to work one corner down. It's on a dual angle. It angles 2 different directions, but we've worked a lot of it out of it, and it looks like it's flat, but it's not. The top of the garden does better on some plants than the bottom of the garden does. The bottom of the garden does better than the top on other kind of plants, like your bell peppers.
Oh yeah, they did a whole lot better than we planted them over here.
Hot peppers, bell peppers, just about any kind of pepper we grow does better at the bottom of the garden than it does at the top. Even though it's hotter at the top and it's drier at the top. But they do better at the bottom. Tomatoes do better at the top of the garden.
They they can see that incline if they watched your video on your plowing with your tractor. Or whatever it was you was doing. The finger raking's what I called it.
They're actually cultivators, but they're heavy set. We use them like chisel plows.
It looks like fingers scratching across the ground.
But we plowed across the hill instead of up and down the hill.
Yeah, you went backward. That's not the way we plant the seeds.
No, we plow crossways because when I turn it with a turning plow, I'll turn it uphill. I'll put the dirt to the top of the hill, and when it washes, it'll push it back down.
Oh.
We move the dirt every year. I roll it up on top of the hill, and by the end of the year, it's back down at the bottom.
I like how he says we, because I never do any of this.
Well, you did some. You're getting better at
I
it.
don't do the tractor, though.
I'm talking about all the digging by hand.
Oh, I can handle that better than I can get it on that tractor.
The tractor rolls it to the top of the hill, but the rain washes it down, and every time we dig, we pull dirt down. Every time you pull grass or clean the rows, you're still knocking dirt down, so and the rain will wash it again.
The double plant, some people say you shouldn't, I guess that's a part of knowing your soul. Like, you put the two things in. Does it eat up all the nutrition? You was talking about your fertilizing. Does it eat up everything? Does moving the dirt, I guess I said, is moving the dirt around help with the balancing your soil back out from where you plant?
It just rolls whatever's left down the bottom. It still has to be amended every year, but still have to fertilize it. Still have to add manure to it or compost but changing where we plant the plants is a big difference too. We don't plant the same thing in the same spot every year. We try to rotate.
I know one thing we're not doing this year. Bell peppers going a long way away from the jalapenos. Them suckers are hot.
They grew really well though. We got a whole lot of hot pepper. Bell pepper, hot
Well,
pepper.
at least need to put this much space between them.
You need about 5 or 6 feet between them.
They were hot. But now, if we plant the bell peppers down at the bottom, we plant the corn going down the hill.
We plant everything going down the hill.
Well, we don't the peppers. We planted them side. They kind of like made a T with everything.
No, they just got put in the ground.
Oh.
Basically. Bottom of the row, we put them wherever we could put them, but we was really at the bottom of the garden, kind of had room.
I didn't know. I mean, they grew real great there. That's why I was like, is that how they're supposed to?
I think that's where the water settles. Reading they grow better there. My personal opinion.
Well, it does settle there. It's a lot wetter down there than it is
I think it
at
stays
the top.
wetter there longer, so the peppers like water. The tomatoes like water, but they really like the heat. Tomato does really good in hot heat, up to a point. I mean, when it gets above 90, your tomatoes start backing off, but probably by 95, they're probably not doing anything. But
You was talking about getting your soil tested. Where, I know, is that what you did with the lady from the UT office last year?
we've got a UT extension office. The co-op will do it. The farmers co-op. The soil conservationist office that's the county office. They'll do it. Our local paper also advertises places that will take soil samples and send them off.
I just remembered that we go to church with the lady from the UT office, and we talked to her at church, and she's like, yeah, we do that. UT is University of Tennessee Extension. It's our 4-H agricultural people.
They do a really good soil analysis. They send lots of information and explain it really well, so I like to go there.
You know,
Which is a video we got to do for too long. I've got to get mine sent off.
you may have to. Other states probably do that too. They probably have similar to what we have with the UT.
It's somewhere in every county has got it. Somehow they can send it off.
That's cool. I don't understand a bit of it, but it tells him what more he needs to add or what it's got too much of. Because you can't have too much stuff in it and it burns the plants up.
And we have a hard problem with nitrogen. That's reading our fertilizer numbers is different than everybody. If you watch the video about fertilizing, a lot of people don't use what we use, but I use it, and there's a couple more people in this county that uses it, where I learned it from. I've got an old man that's a good friend that Teaches me a lot.
He's a good gardener too.
He's good at everything he puts his hand to. If he's ever been a homesteader, which he wouldn't call it, he's a homesteader.
Oh yeah, he lives off his land.
He's farmed all his life ever since he was a kid, and he's 81 or 82 and still farming. Still has cows, still has chickens, still grazes the garden, still cuts his own hay. He's a hard-working man. Even at his age, he's still up every day doing it. But if you've got a question and you want a simple answer to, one you can understand, that's one I go to ask a question.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He can tell you what to use, what you can find around here, because we are in a kind of a rural area, even though we are in town. You don't find a whole lot of these fancy chemicals and fancy fertilizers.
No,
we get a basic list. Is it like seeds? We have to order anything that's out of the ordinary.
That's one of the things I don't pick up on a lot of this, but I did notice one thing about our gardens and how they grew was how the sun hit them. The sun, because I have the privilege of being up in the mornings and watching the sun come up, and it's just so fascinating because at one point the sun comes up here, and with the solar panels it's really easy to watch how the sun changes. So that's something I've noticed just watching them with the solar panels, how we have to turn them differently. And then this summer I got to noticing how it hit the garden different, and that affects how the garden grows.
And that kind of helped us with the solar panels, because our garden faces south. The pitch of the hill actually is a southern direction, so we get a lot of sun in it. But that's how we figured out the solar panels too. We've gardened a lot longer than we've had solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
Which it helps. The experience is the biggest thing, I guess, when it comes down to knowing your spot and using it over and over and learning from what you do each year, what works and what don't. And what grows this year might not grow next year, might not grow as well, it might double.
Oh yeah, there's times when we've had, like our blackberries, they didn't do a whole lot this year, but now last year we had a freezer full.
Yeah, we're still eating blackberries from last year.
You just can't give up.
The year before last.
Because you might not have a great garden this year, but next year you may not have enough space to put everything. It growed so well. That's the life of Tennessee, at least around here, that is. Life in Tennessee. But I guess that's another lesson.
Yep, that's probably enough of it. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something.
Or at least entertained.
Yeah, I hope you're at least entertained.
But it was just coffee time. Time to sit down and just discuss and take a break. We hope you have a great day. God bless.